1200 Seconds. Thank you so much for joining us. You're in for a great night. Coming up on the show, we have Olivia giving us the scope on this year's Broadbeach Jazz Festival, Will meeting up with the cast of In-Betweeners 2, and Terry bringing us the latest updates in the NRL doping scandal. But first, let's take a look at today's news headlines. Ukraine's president has accused Russia of direct invasion after troops were seen crossing the border into the country's east. NATO has released satellite images appearing to show Russian artillery, vehicles and troops in eastern Ukraine. While Ukraine has released footage of a Russian tank, they say it is on their territory. American comedian Joan Rivers is recovering in a New York hospital after a major health scare overnight. The 81-year-old was undergoing surgery on her vocal cords when she stopped breathing, suffering from cardiac arrest. She was initially listed in a critical condition but has now been upgraded to stable. The skyrocketing cost of childcare is forcing parents to opt for informal arrangements. The federal government will tomorrow release figures saying children in New South Wales spend less time in formal centre-based care compared to other states. In-home care and grandparents are increasingly being used to counter a 53% rise in fees over the last 60 years in New South Wales. And a rare set of panda triplets in China have marked a very special milestone, turning 1 month old. The pandas are the world's only known surviving triplets born in captivity. The zoo says the female and 2 male pandas are doing very well and are growing up very fast. So that's it for today's news headlines. Over to Olivia.
Thanks, Gabby. This past weekend kicked off the 6th annual Broadbeach Jazz Festival. The event delivered 2 full days of blues and rhythm produced by an impressive lineup of talented artists. These included the award-winning Rhonda Birchmore, ARIA-nominated songwriter, vocalist and saxophone player Grace Knight, Galapagos Duck and many more. The free event saw a record number of 800 people keen to soak up the exciting festival atmosphere. A total of 20 musical acts were spread across the numerous outdoor stages and performance venues in the Broadbeach area, complete with a variety of art and craft market stalls. The performance by Melbourne band The Royal Jellies was said to be a favourite over the weekend. The 8-part ensemble had the crowd on their feet and dancing throughout the entire show, capturing a groove-filled, energetic vibe, setting the tone for the rest of the event. And in national music news, it has been announced that Aussie acts British India and The Preachers are set to join the Rolling Stones at their forthcoming Australian shows. Having just returned from Berlin, British India have been busy recording their 5th album and are due to open their proceedings on stage at Hanging Rock and Hope Estate. The Preachers, who are due to release their long-awaited debut album, Blue Planet Eyes, this September, recently finished a sold-out European tour. The Rolling Stones are set to kick off their Australian tour on the 25th of October with a headline show at Adelaide Oval. You can catch the Hope Estate show by purchasing general admission tickets available from 10 a.m. local time on Monday the 1st of September. Coming up after the break, we cross live to London where Will catches up with the cast of the In-Betweeners 2.
It's a big ad, very big ad. It's a big ad we're in. It's a big ad. My God, it's big. Can't believe how big it is. It's a big ad. It's just so freaking good. It's a big ad, expensive ad. This ad better sell some money.
Good joke again, Olivia. You're killing it tonight. Welcome back to 1200 Seconds. This is 1200 Seconds, and thank you for sticking with us through the break. We've got still plenty to come, including, but not limited to, a look at the trends that are spreading around our Twitter webs. And of course, Terry with the weather, she'll be reassuring us that we will live to see another day. But first, it's very English, very crude, and very funny. It's the In-Betweeners 2. That's right, guys. It's in cinemas now. If I'm honest, when I went and saw this, I had mixed feelings. You know, I think the best way to describe it is when you go to a shopping centre and you're expecting your favourite burger joint to be open and ready for business, and you get there and it's just not, and you've just got sushi. And like, you still love sushi. You know, actually, you love sushi, but it's just not what you sort of set out expecting, and so it sort of sours the experience. True, the film is all the same cast as the first one, and if you've watched the show and the first film, I guess you sort of know what to expect, but it just still seemed a little bit off to me. I mean, it's gross out, crude, great humour, and that's right up my alley, which is for better or worse. But there's just some sort of spark that I feel that it lacks slightly. Having said that, there really are some great laughs and set pieces here, and the cast are amazing, so I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. 7? They're nodding. Yep, 7's a good score. But don't tell the guys that, because we have them for an interview now. It's an interview I did earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for Simon Bird, James Buckley, Blake Harrison, and Joe Thomas.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much.
So getting straight into the questions, how do you keep the series and the film in extension from going stale?
I think you've got to be mates, to be honest, and we genuinely love each other. I think that's fundamental. That's why the show has run for as long as it has.
Yeah, having worked on a series this long, I mean, how does it feel coming up to the last hurrah? Because as I understand, there won't be an in-between us three, will there?
It's sad.
It's really
sad, but
also we're so proud of the film that it does just, it feels like the right time.
We're very stubborn as well, aren't we? I mean, we won't do the in-betweeners unless we think it's going to be good.
I mean, see, the thing is, to me, it seems like you guys are going out on a bit of a low. Would you ever go back if, you know, people don't like this one?
Fuck off.
Hey, sorry, man. All I did was ask a question.
And again, fuck off.
And so I'm guessing that's a solid no.
That's a hat trick. Fuck off. What is happening here?
I don't know, I don't think I'll be asking him any more questions though. So, coming to Australia, did you guys finally realise that Australia is better than England?
You twat.
Okay, probably as a journalist, not the best question to ask. I think we're finished here. Cut to another program, please.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.
Overnight on the fast-moving Ebola outbreak, a quarantine centre in Liberia has been looted by a gang who reportedly stole several blood-stained sheets and forced 17 patients to flee, raising the chances of the virus spreading. Easily transmitted through bodily fluids, this deadly outbreak has already killed 1,145 people over 5 months in Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone and Nigeria. There may be a breakthrough in the hunt for the executioner of American journalist James Foley. According to British reports, London rapper Abdel Mahed Abdel Barry has been identified as the leading suspect in the horrific beheading. Western intelligence apparently used voice recognition to identify the 23-year-old who performs under the name of El Jinni. A Chinese chef was killed after the severed head of a snake bit him in the middle of preparing a dish. Peng Fan had chopped the head off the Indo-Chinese spitting cobra, a delicacy in Asia, to make soup at his restaurant, before the snake bit into his arm. The chef was rushed to hospital but died before he could be given any anti-venom. Back to Africa now, where a polar bear believed to be the last in the continent has died at a South African zoo, just a few months after his long-time mate passed away. In a statement from Johannesburg Zoo, Wang had to be put down due to liver and heart failure 30 years after arriving from China. And August marks the first-year anniversary since same-sex marriage was legalised in New Zealand. This past 12 months have seen nearly 1,000 homosexual couples tie the knot, including people coming from overseas specifically to take advantage of the redefined law. New Zealand became the first country in the Asia-Pacific region and the 13th in the world to allow same-sex marriages when it passed in the Marriage Amendment Act last year. The Act now defines marriage as the union of two people, regardless of their sex, sexual orientation or gender identity. As of the 28th of June, 16 countries have now legalised same-sex marriage, including Canada, South Africa and the UK. So, is Australia next? What do you guys reckon?
Well, I did some research before, and I found out that already 3 out of 4 people in Australia are saying yes to marriage equality. So what happened to majority rules?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And a Crosby Textor poll commissioned by the Australian Marriage Equality has found that 72% of Australians now want same-sex marriage legalised, while 77% think coalition MPs should be granted a conscious vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following a really interesting thing to do with this. Have any of you guys heard of the openly gay New Zealand minister, Glenn Cardy?
No.
No.
I think I might have.
Oh, you have?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Go
You're
on.
very clued in with the news.
Go on.
He's been sparking heaps of controversy with his billboards outside his Anglican church, and he's named his church St. Matthew in the city. And like one of them, for example, is a picture of a baby Jesus with a rainbow halo, and it's accompanied by the message, it's Christmas, time for Jesus to come out.
Oh, wow.
I think this is a really good way
That's
of
good.
getting the message across.
Intense.
Yeah, no, that's creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think if like we had ministers like this in Australia, we would have had same-sex marriage legalised by now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely. Join us after the break for a story that'll make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
It's the must-see TV moment of the year.
The Bachelor's Proposal.
Will you marry me? Will it be Lisa?
It's amazing.
Or Sam?
I don't want to share you anymore.
Find out tomorrow.
Oh my God. Welcome back to 1200 Seconds. And now we bring you a recent report by the Huffington Post of a man who has kept all of his nail clippings in a jar since 1978. Richard Gibson says that while clipping his toenails one day, the idea occurred to him to store the remains in a manicure box instead of the bin. Once the box was full, after 2 years of storing his clippings, the 58-year-old oil investor moved his collection to a glass jar he still currently uses. Gibson says that he has no exact idea of how many nails are in the jar, but estimates that numbers would be well into the thousands. It turns out the collector's hard work has paid off, with a picture of Gibson holding his glass of toenails due to appear in the latest reality shock edition of the Ripley's Believe It or Not book, due to be released in September. For now, the jar remains sitting proudly on a shelf in the man's Louisiana home. Gibson says that if the day comes when the jar has reached its full capacity, he will continue his collection of nail clippings in another container.
Tasty.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
I actually love this story because I was a bit of a collector myself.
Nail clippings?
Not nail clippings.
Nail clippings, hair.
I had a rock collection. Okay, I had a collection of rocks in a box that I was really, really
It's not
proud
as
of.
gross.
It's not as gross,
It's
but
still
it was
pretty.
Really weird.
It's been touching soil.
no. But we lived in a house that just had a gravel driveway, so the rocks weren't like special crystals or anything. They were just
Rocks.
like gravel rocks. And anyway, one day I came home
That's
from
rocky.
school.
Sorry.
One day when I came home from school,
I can't
my
believe
rock
it.
collection was missing, and my mum had put all the rocks back on her driveway and accused me of stealing the rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I think I was about 8.
Oh, Olivia. You had a really sad childhood. Toys.
Sitting there. You had no toys?
Those rocks
Those
were
were
your
toys?
toys?
Oh, no, I had
Geez,
toys,
so-
but they were just better. They were just...
Rocks are better
They
than
are.
toys. They're
Yeah.
cheaper as well.
I felt...
I'm surprised your mum didn't
I
push
felt
it.
like an explorer. We have a global dilemma happening at the moment. A bit of sad news. With recent reports that a Turkish hazelnut shortage might see a significant boost in the prices for Nutella.
That's painful.
Frost damage to a hazelnut crop in Turkey is said to be the cause, affecting 70% of the world's supply. Big hazelnut buyers, including the biggest Nutella maker, Ferrero, are scrambling to shore up their reserves. The looming shortage has reportedly already caused a 60% spike in prices, with food bloggers already tragically predicting a rise in Nutella prices. The best advice being given to Nutella lovers is to stock up on your favourite hazelnut spread now to risk blowing your grocery shop budget later.
There you
Not
go.
Nutella. Well, I think it was like one of those fact sheets or something, that you can circle the world 1.4 times with the amount of Nutella produced in just 1 year.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's the same amount that could cover the Great Wall of China 8 times.
Really?
Yeah,
Gosh.
Wow. There you go. That's...
tasty.
Oh, you know, like I would.
That's really tasty.
I'm not a huge fan of Nutella.
You're
but,
not?
You
No,
know,
really? I had it this morning for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, guilty.
I had
I only
both.
use Nutella for like dessert things though.
You
Well,
know,
like with strawberry.
have you guys seen the like
Oh,
Nutella
yum.
cakes that you can like make in the microwave or whatever, and you put it? Someone back
that
me up
sounds
here.
No, tell me about it though.
Yeah, they're like
Are they those things that you put in a mug?
yeah,
Mug cake.
yeah,
Cake
that's the
in
one.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and you just microwave it or whatever.
Have you done
Things,
it?
I haven't done it. I've seen on the internet, and I've been so curious to try it, but I'm scared I'll blow my house up.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
not much of a cooker.
I always.
Yeah.
So, you know. On to other things other than cakes. Stick around with us after the break because it's that segment of the show that gets the birds tweetering. That was horrible. Wow. But it is
What
Twitter
was
topics and
that?
it's coming up soon.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Over to Will.
Welcome to Twitter Topics. It's a part of the show where we look at what's trending, what needs mending, and maybe a bit of goss. But first, unfortunately, the top trend at the moment is a somber one. Hashtag Ferguson. Have you guys heard of this? This is charting the story of a man who was shot dead on Friday in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson in the US state of Missouri.
Yeah, I did see it on social media.
Yeah,
last night,
like the man allegedly stole a box of cigars from a convenience store. It led to him being pursued by a policeman, and he was allegedly shot multiple times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's full on. The shooting led to a citizen revolt, which in turn paved way for distressed Governor Jay Nixon to declare a state of emergency. As the situation escalates with the introduction of a street curfew, hundreds are protesting, and there are reports that policemen have been using tear gas to subdue prisoners. So it's getting out of control. More on that as it develops. On a lighter note though, what's also hitting the top of Twitter waves today? Hashtag ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh.
Have you guys heard of it? Or?
No, but I know
Everyone's
you've
heard of
heard
it.
I've heard of it.
because I saw it last
I've
night
done
on
it.
Facebook.
This is a trend. I don't just pour buckets of water over my head for no good reason. It's a trend that is for a good cause, with celebrities and amateurs around the world taking an ice-cold splash, or bucket, I should say, for charity. The videos of this often unexpectedly hilarious stunt have gone on to create a simple yet viral campaign for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis disease, or ALS for short. Now, those who have undertaken the Ice Bucket Challenge have also donated to the ALS Association, so check that out. It's a definite worthwhile cause. You know, obviously, any amount of money is a good amount of money. We'll have that in the website as well,
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
believe.
We'll pop the link on that.
Yeah, which would be great. Finally, if you're fretting that you're going to miss out on your daily goss intake, fret no more, because we've got reports. How about this? Finally, Brad Pitt and Angelina. Anyway, like, I was trying to be all dramatic, and I've just like tongue-tied my words. No, but finally, Angelina and Brad Pitt are getting married. I guess it'd be Angelina Pitt now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
Oh,
What a
weird.
sobering thought.
We're so used to Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm probably still going to call her Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I feel like I know her better
Yeah.
as that.
When you call her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have a good chat.
Where, you know, me and Jolie, we
Catch
go
up
way
over
back.
lunch. Good old Ange.
We watched Ninja Turtles the other day. It's a good movie. I should go see that. But no, they tied the knot in Paris because, you know, if you're a millionaire, it wouldn't make sense to get married anywhere else.
Of course.
Obviously. The ceremony itself was so secret that the event actually took place a week ago, and people are only now just hearing about it. The couple had been engaged since 2012 and sealed the deal with just 22 guests, who subsequently gathered in a garden for a pizza party, which, if I'm honest, surprises me. You know, if you're in France, wouldn't you have a baguette party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really true.
That's a horrible joke.
Choice, yeah.
Pizza is an odd choice, though.
It is,
Unless
especially
you've
for
gone-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all about cutting carbs or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
That kind of
Angelina Jolie scoffing down a slide.
No, not at all.
Dress.
Not at all. But honestly, the event sounds like it was great, quiet, and exactly what the couple wanted. So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about time. They've been dating for so many years.
Yeah,
haven't
I
they?
mean, they've been together for...
Oh, but poor Jen, though.
Isn't she with someone else now?
She was, I don't know.
Look, actually, I think I did see that. He's quite a few years younger than her.
Yeah.
But,
Like new
Also,
idea
she's
or
Jen-
something.
Jennifer.
Lawrence.
No,
No,
not
Jennifer. Do you volunteer as tribute?
I volunteer as tribute. We should do the weather. Over to Terry.
In today's forecast, it will be mostly sunny in the southeast, 13 with a top of 24 in Brisbane, 12 with a top of 20 in Toowoomba, and 16 with a top of 24 on the Gold Coast. There is a hot northwesterly airstream across South Australia and Victoria. Some relief from the scorching weather with a cold front moving through tonight. The Gold Coast could be in for a new wave of beach destruction, with big waves set to hit the shores of the Gold Coast. We'll cross live to William, who has been paying close attention to the forecast.
Paying close attention and having a ball doing it. Yeah.
Thanks, Will, for that update.
That's all right.
To sport now, where Cronulla Chief Executive Steve Noyce has revealed that ASADA has acknowledged the Sharks players who took banned substances are not drug cheats after the word unknowingly was included in the letters of confession they signed yesterday. Noyce came out in defence of his players after 5 of them, New South Wales captain Paul Gallen, Anthony Tupou, Wade Graham, Nathan Gardner and John Morris, fell on their swords yesterday to bring an end to the 18-month drug investigation into the club. James Hird's AFL suspension is officially over, with the exiled coach walking back into work at Essendon for the first time in 12 months and declaring there's a lot of work to do. The Australian men's 4x100 freestyle relay team, which famously misfired in London, has rebounded to form with a stirring victory over the US at the Pan Pac Championships on the Gold Coast. The team of James Magnuson, Matt Aboyd, Cameron McAvoy and Thomas Smith started as underdogs against the star-studded Americans, but came out on top as Pan Pac's 100-metre champion McAvoy sped them home with another impressive swim in front of his home crowd. On tomorrow night's program, we will be live in the studio with Julie Bishop to update us on the tragedy that was MH17. Will be reviewing what's new at the cinemas, and we will have a special guest. The famous Sneezing Panda will be in with his mum to let us know how his hay fever is coming along. I like that.
It's a good impersonation. Not as good as the actual video. If you guys haven't seen it, that'll be on our website to get you amped for tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We are 1200 Seconds. Remember that you can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll be putting out feeler hashtags for next week's chat. We're going to get Daniel Radcliffe in. So post your questions up and hashtag 1200 Seconds. We'll be asking him the most creative and clever ones. So don't just ask about how it feels to be Harry Potter, because I feel like he's been asked that a million times.
Yeah, many years.
Yeah. So be sure to get involved in the social media flurry. It'll be fun. Also, anything you've missed or might have questions about on tonight's show, or if you just want to watch the program again, head to our site, www.1200secondsandcounting.com.au. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for tonight, but don't worry, because we will meet again. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.